Hey there, Griever Gang. Welcome back to Griever Productions. Evanescence released a new song within the last week, 6 days ago as of recording this, so, I don't know. We'll see when this goes up online. My editing schedule has been very wacky lately. As you guys know, who frequent the channel, I am a huge fan of Evanescence. Love the stuff that they do. We've seen a lot of people covering songs of theirs as well. But when it comes down to it, Amy Lee is absolutely one of the best. So when I found out that they released a new song, Who You Will Follow, I had to give it a look. So before we begin, please do leave a like on the video. It does help. If you have not subscribed, I'd highly appreciate it if you did so. But without any further ado, let's see if Amy Lee is about to wake me up inside, emotionally. That was bad. That was a bad pun. With their new song, Who Will Follow.
What have you done to me? You drained the life out of me till I don't know myself. When all your faith in reality fades away, who will you follow?
Oh wow. Hang on. Straight off the bat, right? There's an interesting technique thing that I love with her, and it's part of what gives her such a unique sound. I speak a lot about resonant centers and where the voice kind of resonates within the mouth to give us like a specific sound, and hers is so unique because it's quite far forward, but it's not like right here. Let me just have a listen to this again. Oh no, it's more forward than I think, actually, and that's what kind of gives a little bit of a, I don't want to say nasal, because a lot of when you use the term nasally, a lot of people think that it's a negative thing, and don't get me wrong, usually when you're referring to a voice as being nasally, it is negative. There's not a more descriptive thing for Amy Lee's voice, and it's interesting how she maintains that center when she's so good with some specific vowels. Like, as an example, let's listen to this line again here. Okay, so what I talk about as well, when we sing, we fall into what's known as the Latin vowel sound, so R, E, O, and U. And what Amy tends to do is fall into, sorry, let me take it a step back. All singers will have maybe 2, maybe 3 that they are extra proficient at, okay? Not to say that singers can't do all of them. There are singers that can do all of them quite proficiently, but there are some that they will fall more into, whether it be for a specific sound that they want, or it does help also in a lot of cases to hit certain notes. Amy falls into an air vowel quite frequently, at least in this first section, where she almost changes those vowel sounds, and the combination of an air vowel with that more frontal nasal sound is not what you hear commonly, and I think it's what gives her such a unique thing. And even that what would like follow, change it to an R vowel, which falls more into that line as well.
Are we alone now? I can't find the way out. Keep waking in the same fever dream. A cure for desire. We're playing with fire. We're drawn to light. We're broken and blinded by it. Dying for release. If all this fear was born in my mind, I gave you everything you'll ever be.
Oh, I love it.
You drained my life out of me till I don't know myself. When all your faith in reality fades away.
love it. There's something always so brilliant about the way that Evanescence run their stuff. Like, you can obviously tell that it is a brand new song, but it still almost has that nostalgic feel. Evanescence always managed to keep that that sense of their style, and I adore it. I think it's great. Like, if you put this song on, people would go, I don't know this song, but you would clearly go, hey, it's Evanescence. Funny she used the word Matrix there. I'll explain why in a moment. So just before we get into what I assume is either a solo or this bridge section here, I want to bring up as well another thing that I love about Amy Lee is her incredible consistency with how she sings. Because given what I'm hearing here already, you can tell that her voice is definitely maturing over time. And that's something that happens quite often, right? A lot of people think, okay, like a person will hit puberty, and in a male's case, right, that their voices will break and get lower, and then that's the voice that they will live with for the rest of their lives. It's not the case, and it's definitely not the case with women either, that the voice definitely changes over time, and then there's obviously quite a number of factors that kind of contribute to this, whether it be for both men and women, obviously the way you use your voice, even like hormonal changes for both men and women as well can affect the sound of the voice and the way that it operates. But then there's what I think is a more contributing factor, but I could be wrong in saying this. When we kind of start singing, right, we have we have like a level that we go to, and a few people that have watched my videos will know what I'm about to go and explain here. But you start with a very specific level, and then you start to get the basics, and then once you've got the basics, you kind of layer them on top. You practice the heck out of those, and then that becomes your new normal, and that is where your voice will kind of sit, muscle memory sets in, and when it does, that's where the voice kind of goes to. And then we start adding what are known as effects, AFFECT, on the voice, the most common one being vocal fry. Oh, sorry, not the most common, but the most noteworthy example being, say, if you wanted to add vocal fry, that sort of thing. And then we get that new layer on top, practice the heck out of that. That, again, becomes the new normal. And that's where the muscle memory lies. And as time goes on, as we get older, the voice changes, and we kind of need to change a little bit with it. The way that we handle the voice changes a little bit. Sometimes, well, in most cases, you obviously... Whoop, I did not mean to hit the play button there. 9 times out of 10, I won't say 10 out of 10, but 9 times out of 10, you do need to treat it a little bit more delicately as it ages. But regardless, still, between this song and... even the song they released for Devil May Cry, I think, it sounds, at least to my ear, that her voice has matured in a way. And I don't want to use the word changed, because it is definitely a case of maturing. And even though that she's been doing it for decades at this point, it's still going to happen to her, sort of thing. I think this is a wonderful example of that. And I still want to point out the consistency that she has. She knows how that voice works. She knows what to do to get what she wants out of it, and it's brilliant. Hold up a second. What's doing the harmony there? Because I heard vocal harmony to begin with, and then something else was in there. Hang on. Very interesting. Now, there's a couple of things that could be happening here. So, I heard distinct vocal harmony, but in and amongst that as well, there is definitely a keyboard as well. But then there's aspects there. Sorry, I'm gonna go through it one more time. Hang on. That's very clever. That's very clever. The harmony work's done by both the vocal and the keyboard, and it blends in so nicely. That's very clever. Oh, I love that.
What have you done to me? You trained the life out of me till I don't know myself. When all your faith and reality fades who will you follow?
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's so cool. I'm going to point out one more thing just before I go to final thoughts here. I need to find it again. Give me just a moment. Okay, so I found it here. Okay, so I found it here, right? Something I want to point out, and I thank Evanescence for this, because something that I'm noticing more and more is when songs come out like this that have this dynamic kind of, I'll say lull in the music where it's pretty much one instrument and a vocal. When the rest of the band comes in, it's so very, very easy to get the levels wrong and to have the vocal drown out. It's something that I've been noticing more and more often since looking... Since specifically looking at Taron Egerton performing Rocket Man, the song Rocket Man. If you haven't seen that video yet, I highly recommend watching it because it's a good example of what I'm about to say. It's very, very easy in a mix, especially in a heavy rock situation, to drown out the vocal to the point where they're not really heard. And what this tends to do is make it sound like the singer can't sing, essentially. And it also loses so much. It removes the heart of the song because that voice is what's telling the story. It's not just the voice, but they're the ones expressing the words that the story is based around. So don't get me wrong, I understand that it is a full group endeavor, but if you lose the lyric, you lose the story in a lot of cases. I am so happy that there is such a dynamic change within this track, and yet they did it in a way that, yes, you can tell, obviously, the whole band's in, the whole band's loud, they're a rock band, they're a heavy rock, like, it's a heavy rock song here, and yet the vocals are still as crystal clear as they were in this softer section. Have a listen here.
Have you done to me? You trained the life out of me till I don't know myself.
They didn't change the vocal level. They used the music around it as the bass line.
Who
And the reason that I bring that up is, again, you see it more and more often now where, and don't get me wrong, in a lot of cases, it is used as a technique because the vocalist may not be able to sing very well in reality. The Taron Egerton one that I bring up as an example, they didn't need to do it, and I got really mad at it. I got really mad at the mix in that. Still mad at the mix in that. But this is the perfect example of why you don't do that. You trust your singer. Anyway, let's go to final thoughts. Okay. Look, I thought this was wonderful. I think this song is brilliant. Evanescence always do a fantastic job. I never have anything bad to say about them at all. Let me just double check something though. When did Evanescence start? It was founded in 1994 by in Little Rock, Arkansas by Amy Lee herself. Okay, so we're looking at 32 years ago. Okay? And for that entire time, actually, give me 1 second. I don't want to say for the entire time. When did Bring Me to Life? 2003. Okay. Okay. All right. At least since 2003, right? Because I don't know if I know Evanescence stuff earlier than that. I'll need to double check actually. Maybe that's one that I do a deep dive into. At least since that point, at least 23 years, they have been incredibly consistent. You can put on an Evanescence song, and straight away you're going to know that that is Evanescence. And that is wonderful. That marks them, in my eyes, as one of the better bands in existence. To be able to put on a song and immediately go, oh, that's them, you've made a mark at that point, and you are consistently working towards that sound, that goal of people knowing that it's you. They have incredible songs. Amy Lee is an incredible vocalist, and it is incredible to see and hear her still singing after so much time, still so consistently. It means that all of this time, basically, she has used incredibly good technique, or at least a technique that works for her specifically. And the band themselves, they know the assignment. Release an Evanescence song. Like, it's so good. It's so good. It's a formula that can't go wrong. And frankly, I love them for it. Anyway, that's all I have for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed. Subscribe, do all that sort of thing. And I will catch you next time. Alright, bye for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us further and join the wonderful list of people here, we have a Patreon that you can join from as little as $3 Australian per month. And if you like gaming and film reviews, you can join us over at Griever Gaming or Griever Film and TV. Links in the description below. Griever Film and TV is one that I've still yet to launch, but hopefully that'll be soon. Alright, see you soon.